characters from Rogue One are revealed, the crew behind LEGO Star Wars The Freemaker Adventures, and much, much more. Now, from the Lucasfilm headquarters, it's the Star Wars Show!
Hello, I'm Peter Townley.
And I'm Andy Gutierrez. Welcome to the Star Wars Show, the only show on the internet that has a matte painting from the Battle of Endor behind its set.
Is that true?
It is. News time.
Gigantic news just broke about Forest Whitaker's character in Rogue One.
First revealed moments ago by Entertainment Weekly, we can now officially confirm that Forest Whitaker is playing Saw Gerrera in Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
The character, who first appeared in Star Wars The Clone Wars, led a rebellion against the Separatists on his home planet of Onderon.
Hey, do you want to know about the history and significance of Saw Gerrera? Because I know a little bit about the character, you know, being part of the story group.
Yes, please, but can you give us like 45 more seconds to finish up the news?
Fine.
Perfect.
Also revealed this morning were the names of Diego Luna's character, Cassian Andor, Donnie Yen's character, Chirrut Imwe, Zhang Wen as Baze Malbus, Alan Tudyk as the droid K2SO, Ben Mendelsohn as Orson Krennic, Mads Mikkelsen as Galen Erso, Riz Ahmed as Bodhi Rook, and a little up-and-comer by the name of Darth Vader. You can read more about the character reveals as well as never-before-seen stills at EW.com. In other news, ILMX Lab announced a partnership this week with Magic Leap to create a mixed reality experience.
Specific details of the partnership are still locked up, but they did reveal a teaser that looks like it will bring a mixture of virtual reality and augmented reality into our own reality.
Finally, the Bespin DLC for Battlefront is now available. The add-on features 5 new maps, new weapons, a new game mode, pilotable cloud cars, and best of all, playable versions of Dengar and Lando Calrissian.
Best of all is right, Andy. Season pass holders can download it now, or you can purchase it separately on July 5th.
You ready, Pablo?
Well, that was longer than 45 seconds, but sure. Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you, Pablo?
Thanks for having me on.
For a lot of fans, Saw may be a new character, but he's been around for several years now.
Yeah, Saw's been kicking around for a while. A lot of people know him from Clone Wars, but he actually started off before that. George Lucas had him in mind for his live-action TV series that he was in development, which ultimately never happened, but he found a place to put Saw into his story in Clone Wars.
And he's been mentioned in other titles. He's been mentioned in Bloodline, Rebels,
Rebels.
right?
Worked for Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, Saw, if you were to think about him, he is sort of an extreme rebel. He's definitely against the Empire, but he does things that, you know, morally push against the kind of things that Bail Organa and Mon Mothma stand for. So he's definitely the more extreme side of the Rebel Alliance.
And so now, after the seeds have been planted, here we are with a live-action portrayal in a film.
Yeah, the way that came about is as the Rogue One story started to gel, the filmmakers realized that they needed a rebel extremist type character, and we already had one in Saw. They took that character, ran with it, and as they started developing the script, they realized there was only one person that they wanted to play this character, and that was Forest Whitaker, and we're very fortunate to have him in this movie.
Thanks for coming by, Pablo, and giving us this little history lesson on Saw Gerrera. We can't wait to see him in Rogue One this December. And I'm about to head out for another interview, so sit tight and check out this exclusive Ray vignette from LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens video game.
I can do this. This droid has to get to the Resistance base as soon as possible. You're afraid that you will never be as strong as Darth Vader.
Welcome back. As you guys might have noticed, we are not actually on our set right now. We are at Skywalker Sound with Bill Motz and Bob Roth, the creators of LEGO Star Wars The Freemaker Adventures, that is available now this week on Disney XD. Hey guys.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having us.
What stories and characters in the saga have inspired you in creating this show?
Well, I mean, you got to go back to Luke, right? Like that's the obvious answer. And then second to him, Dengar, because Dengar's awesome.
Obviously.
I was gonna say Han Solo, but I think Dengar trumps it.
Yeah.
So.
You're kind of covering all of your bases here. You hear a lot about the Jedi and the Sith and, you know, these big time players, but the Freemakers are kind of running this little ragtag operation on their own. What sort of inspirations did you have in building those characters?
When we first heard LEGO Star Wars, new characters, we went, it's got to be about a family, because that's what Star Wars is all about.
We want to start with this core family who aren't in the main thrust of the classic trilogy adventure. They're kind of off in this space station, kind of on the edge of the galaxy.
Yeah, we're seeing some everyman.
Yeah, kind of point of view, but they get sucked into the larger conflict and they realize that, oh, we can't just sort of stay neutral, ducking down from the Empire. We actually have to get involved. That was kind of a cool starting place for us.
Now, Roger's a character that I really loved right away. Whose idea was it to bring the last of the battle droids into this cast?
He was one of the very first ideas we had. We knew we wanted to set it between episode 5 and episode 6, but we also wanted to embrace the entire Star Wars saga. So we wanted to find something that harkened back to the prequels.
Roger's actually voiced by Matt Wood,
Yes.
Oscar-nominated sound editor from The Force Awakens.
I guess we'll take him.
And I've talked to Matt Wood. His voice doesn't sound like that.
No, it does not.
Wouldn't it be interesting to hear how he turns his voice into Roger?
I would be very curious to find out.
Hey guys, Matthew Wood here from Skywalker Sound. It's quite simple actually. I take the pitch of my voice and I pitch it up into like almost a humorous sort of octave, and the formants of my voice, which is the dynamics of how I speak from my vocal cords, and I also preserve those but make them sound a little bit more humorous with pitch. So
oh no, look out! Roger, Roger. Hey look, I baked you some cookies. Hey Rowan.
So the other really great thing about having Matt on the show is he's actually doing sound design for our show. Right. He's created the sound of the Kyber Saber and the Rancor's Fist and the Eclipse Fighter and the Star Scavenger. They're all signature sounds that he has made, and it's amazing.
The Lego Star Wars series are an entry point for a lot of young fans. How does it feel knowing that this could be someone's first step into a larger world?
That's an awesome and daunting responsibility, and I think that we feel like we want to do it right because we love both Lego and Star Wars so much. Lego also gives you an excuse to be able to play with the characters and really kind of tangibly, you know, act out your storylines and that kind of thing, and so it's a way for kids to not only discover the stories as told, but be able to play and invent their own.
Thank you guys so much for taking time to talk with us. And for all of you at home, the first 4 episodes of LEGO Star Wars The Freemaker Adventures are airing this week on Disney XD, but you can watch them all right now on the Watch Disney XD app. And right now, we have a clip for you from the first episode. Enjoy.
The new, superior Death Star. Soon it will be complete. With its destructive power at our command, we shall crush the rebels once and for all.
Meh.
Meh?
Meh! Don't get me wrong, Lord Vader. I'm all for ruling the galaxy. That's my thing. But you remember what happened to the first Death Star?
Yes. I was there.
Oh, right, you were. Let's go to the replay.
Is this really necessary? I have you now. What? You're all clear, kid.
Now let's blow this thing and go home. I have you now. Gets me every time.
Did you see how many responses we got for the question last week?
Yeah, I think that might be the most we've ever had.
Quite possibly, and what was abundantly clear was the amount of love that you, the fans, had for Battlefront 2. Like Leo DeLuca, who says he still dusts off his old PS2 to play it.
Another big submission was Knights of the Old Republic, where YouTuber Armatron said, OMG, it was so good! The story, the abilities, your choice of going light side, dark side, just about everything about it screams Star Wars to me.
And let's not forget about the old school submissions like X-Wing, TIE Fighter, and a lot of people suggesting the Jedi Knight series. I think that's mostly for Jarek, though, and the cool shades.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Cheese. Your favorite game is Pick Droids.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, even Cheese.
Thanks to everyone that submitted, even you, Cheese. As for this week, we're getting crazy, and we want to see your best Star Wars vines. Submit them using the hashtag Star Wars Show Vine, and we'll feature our favorites here in the future.
And as always, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Vine, and Google+. And for more Star Wars happenings from around the galaxy, check out StarWars.com or download the Star Wars app.
Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.
You're really quite a handsome chap, aren't you? Yeah, gorgeous.
Stunning.
Beautiful.
Exquisite.
Ravishing.
Splendiferous.
You talking about me or you?